If Bela hadn't decided to chase the glowing tennis ball across the living room at 2:17 a.m., none of this would have happened. The journey through time. Lane. The ancient jungle. The Maya warriors who believed the dogs were gods. And the suspiciously handsome high priest who tried to sacrifice a chicken in their honor. But let's not spoil the good parts. This story begins, as all great disasters do, with a bad idea. Bela, a white Rottweiler with the heart of a lion and the coordination of a baby giraffe, was normally asleep at that hour. Doris, a long-haired red dachshund, slept even harder, usually belly up, snoring like a tiny dragon with allergies. But tonight was different. A faint buzzing filled the room. A neon green tennis ball rolled out from under the couch, glowing like it had swallowed a lightning bolt. Bela's ears shot up. Doreel opened one eye, saw the glow, and tried to ignore it. She had no intention of participating in Bela's spontaneous nighttime chaos. But the ball buzzed again, louder this time. Then it bounced. By itself. Woof! Bela barked, launching off the couch like a furry missile. On dawn. Dor, realizing her peace had been destroyed, snarled herself awake and wobbled after her. The ball zipped left, right, spun in a circle, and then rolled straight into the open closet. Bela dove after it. Duan followed. Doria followed, yelling, in dachshund language, "If we die, I'm haunting you!" Bela's paw hit the ball. Everything went white, my dear, then silent. Then, boom! The world split open. The dogs hit the ground with a thud. Bela blinked at the massive trees looming above them. Doree blinked at the enormous butterflies, each the size of a tortilla. Both blinked at the fact that the closet they'd entered was nowhere in sight. Instead, humid air wrapped around them like a warm, sweaty blanket. The sounds of birds, very large birds, echoed through the trees. "Where are we?" Doreen asked, sniffing cautiously. Bela sniffed too. Trees, mud, something that smells like old cornflakes. They slowly turned around. Behind them stood a towering pyramid of stone, wide steps leading up toward the sky, carved with faces that looked both welcoming and intimidating, like someone had said, "Smile!" And they tried but weren't totally sure what a smile was. Dory gasped. "Is that?" "Yes," Bela whispered dramatically. "A climbing challenge." "No," Doreen snapped. "A Maya pyramid. Mimes." Before Bela could react, 3 figures burst from the jungle. Men dressed in feathered cloaks, beads, and finely woven cloth. They froze when they saw the dogs. The tallest man gasped. Then he dropped to his knees. "The prophecy," he whispered. His companions knelt too, to Bela. Doreel whispered to Bela. "I don't like this." Bela whispered back. "I love this." The Maya men rose slowly and approached the dogs with deep reverence. The tallest one placed a hand over his chest. "I am Itzel, keeper of the temple. And plea. Tell me, great spirits, have you come to save us?" Bela wagged her tail proudly. Doria nearly fainted. We need to think carefully," Dory murmured. "We can't talk to humans." But Bela, enthusiastic as always, barked twice, did a spin, and wiped her paw across the dirt like she was signing something official. Itzel nodded solemnly. "Disdain. She speaks in the language of power." Doria froze. "Oh no, they understand you." Another warrior stepped forward. "Come, guardians, understand you. The high priest must see you." Bela bounced with joy. Doria tried to hide behind her. Aryans. The men gently lifted Doria and Bela onto decorated litters, carrying them like royalty. Doria muttered. "I don't know where we are, but we're definitely not supposed to be here," Bela whispered back. "Technically, we're always supposed to be where we are, because we're there." Doria stared at her. "This is why I worry." The forest cleared, revealing a grand Maya city bustling with life. Women shaped fresh tortillas over clay griddles. Children played a ball game using their hips. Traders sold jade, obsidian blades, cacao beans, and feathered headdresses. Everyone froze as the dogs were carried past. A whisper rippled through the crowd. "Los Guardiani." The white protector and the fiery little one. The spirits of fur. Dory cringed. Heltermore. Did they just call me fiery? You are fiery, Bela said. And little. Dory glared. You're one dropped snack away from a lawsuit. They were brought into an enormous temple courtyard, where a tall, broad-shouldered man stood before a smoking altar decorated with carved jaguars. He turned, and his eyes widened at the sight of the dogs. The prophecy is true, he boomed. Bela puffed out her chest to load. Doria shrunk into herself. The high priest bowed. Welcome, divine ones. Please, accept our offering. A chicken was brought out. A very alive, very confused chicken. Bela wagged her tail. Doria screamed internally. The priest raised a ceremonial knife. Nope, 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 Doria barked, running forward. Bela leapt after her, barking furiously. Lives. The Maya gasped. The dogs surrounded the chicken protectively. Doria barked, You put that down. Bela barked, Don't be mean. The priest froze. It is a sign, he shouted. The gods reject blood. Eyes. They demand peace. A cheer erupted through the courtyard. The chicken fainted. The dogs were led to the royal quarters' stone rooms cooled with wet cloths, fragrant with burning copal incense, filled with soft woven mats. Bela rolled around on the cushions like she'd reached paradise. Doria suspiciously inspected every corner. Something's wrong, Doria muttered, as they're too happy to see us. They think we're gods, Bela said proudly. Yes, that's exactly the problem. While Bela munched happily on roasted corn cakes, Doria overheard two priests whispering. The eclipse is coming soon. Oh, what if the guardians do not stop the jaguar spirit? The king fears disaster. Doria's ears shot up. Zavala. She ran to Bela, who was halfway inside a basket of cacao beans. Spit that out. We have a problem. But it tastes good. Spit. Bela reluctantly spat the beans onto the floor. Doria paced. They expect us to fight some kind of jaguar spirit. Bela's tail wagged. A new friend? A dangerous one. Spirit. Right on cue, a loud horn blasted from outside. The ground trembled. Priests screamed. And from the entrance of the temple courtyard came a roar. A very real, very large jaguar stepped into view, its fur patterned like molten gold, its eyes glowing like green fire. It wasn't a spirit. It was angry. And hungry. Bela whispered. Okay. Maybe not a friend. The jaguar prowled forward, muscles rippling under its coat. Bela stepped protectively in front of Doria. Doria whispered nervously. We're gonna die. With migwars. We're snacks. We're tiny snacks. You're tiny, Bela corrected. I'm a whole meal. Not helping. The jaguar snarled. On Howie. Bela barked back, louder. The jaguar lunged. And Bela dodged so fast she surprised even herself. Doria darted under the jaguar's legs, biting its tail. The jaguar yowled, spinning in circles. Bela saw her moment. Tafaka. She tackled the jaguar's back, paws flailing. Doria grabbed a fallen ceremonial staff and swung it like a warrior princess, smacking the jaguar's nose. The jaguar sneezed. Bela fell off. Died young. Chaos erupted. Priests ran in circles. Warriors screamed. The chicken from earlier sprinted across the courtyard. Fringimther. Finally the jaguar, overwhelmed and embarrassed, fled back into the jungle with a furious howl. Bela barked triumphantly. Dorian collapsed in the dust. And far. The high priest rushed forward. The guardians have defeated the jaguar spirit! Bela puffed up. Doria groaned. The city cheered wildly. After the battle, the king himself invited the dogs to the ceremonial observatory atop the pyramid. He wore a headdress of quetzal feathers that shimmered in the sunlight. His voice was deep but kind. Great ones, the eclipse approaches. The sky will darken. People will fear the worst unless you guide them. Dory gulped. Bells. Bela's tail wagged. The king continued. It is said that only the guardians of fur can calm the sun. Tame. Doria whispered. Why do ancient prophecies always involve unreasonable responsibilities? Bela whispered back. Maybe they trust us. Max step. They shouldn't. But they climbed the pyramid anyway, though Bela had to be carried after getting distracted by a butterfly halfway up. At the top, the sun blazed overhead. The king placed the dogs on a carved stone platform. As the light dimmed, the people gathered below in thousands. The eclipse began. The world fell into shadow. The crowd gasped in terror. Ard panicked. And Doria panicked. Bela, what do we do? Bela shrugged. I don't know, bark? So she barked. Loudly, Ard pregged. The crowd fell silent. Then, Bela did the only other thing she knew how to do under pressure. A trick, Ard pregs. She stood on her hind legs and spun in a circle. The crowd erupted in awe. Doriel blinked at her. Seriously? The king bowed. It is a sign that the sun will return. Dor, realizing they needed more, did her own trick. She hopped onto a drum and started tapping it rhythmically with her paws. The crowd cheered louder. 8 times, the eclipse faded. Light returned. And the people roared with joy. That night, the Maya city threw the biggest festival in its history. Flutes played. Drums thundered. Women danced with flowing ribbons, lines. Children carried small clay figures shaped like Bela and Dori. The dogs were fed roasted turkey, sweet pumpkin, tamales, and something called divine cacao, which Dori politely declined after remembering earlier events. A storyteller proclaimed dramatically, "These guardians came from the sky to defeat the jaguar spirit, save the eclipse, and bring peace." Bela leaned toward Dori. "I like it here." Dori sighed. "Yes, but we don't belong here." "Maybe they need us." Air on him. Dori looked at the joyful crowd. Maybe they did. But something felt unfinished. As fireworks made from burning resins launched into the sky, the glowing tennis ball suddenly reappeared, floating above the pyramid. Buzzing. Vibrating. Calling them. Bela froze. Doria stared. "Oh no," she said. "Not again." The ball dipped lower, spinning like a tiny green sun. Bela and Doria approached it reluctantly. The king stepped forward. "Archer, no. Are you leaving us, divine ones?" Doria whispered. "I guess we are." Bela nudged her gently. "We helped them, that's enough." Elle bowed deeply as the dogs touched the ball. The world flashed white again. Wind roared. The jungle vanished. Align it. The stone city melted away. With a loud thump, Bela and Dora landed back inside their own living room. It was 2:18 a.m. They had been gone 1 minute. The glowing ball rolled to a stop and faded to normal tennis ball green. Dori sniffed it. "Ain't gone. I officially hate this ball." Bela booped it with her nose. "You think they're okay, the Maya people?" Dorian nodded slowly. "Yes, his balls. They're okay, we helped." Bela curled up sleepily. "And if they ever need us again, Doria groaned. "I am uninstalling time travel from my schedule." But she curled next to Bela anyway. The ball glowed faintly in the dark, of Maid. Waiting. Hoping. Promising future disasters. Somewhere, in a world long gone, a Maya temple still stands. Carved on its central pillar is a stone relief of 2 dogs. One tall and strong, with bright eyes, of Anne's. One small and fierce, with wild spirit. Below them, ancient glyphs say, "They came from the light. They saved the sun's defense. They will return when the world needs them." And maybe, just maybe, that glowing tennis ball meant the prophecy was still alive.